Hey, good evening, or morning, or afternoon. Hello. Uh, yes, it's Tuesday evening here, 9:33 p.m., and this is my video for the 23rd of April, 2014. Behold, I make all things new. And I put in parentheses 2014 because I have a feeling, I didn't look, but I have a feeling I might have used that title once before. But it wasn't this year, I'm sure of that. Anyway, here's the blurb. Several titles went through my mind as I sit here at the computer, late in the day, wondering what to talk about in my video at the beginning of the grand cardinal cross. The biblical quote from him who sits on the throne came to mind. Interesting how my thoughts flow from one to another as I encounter things in my life that I've never encountered before, at least not that I remember. I will probably ramble on this one, not that that is new for me. But my rambling may go to new places. Okay, that's why it didn't make sense. I forgot the new. I never know. My guidance simply says to trust. That is what I have to do. In a way, I have no choice. I'm walking unfamiliar territory and learning to live outside my comfort zone. It ain't easy, since it is both exciting and a bit scary. Oh, yes, a lot has been happening, and the energies that I'm sensing are scattered, which is why I said that I probably will ramble on this one. In fact, I think I've been rambling a lot lately. But I speak from my heart, and I never know what I'm going to say, because one thing leads to another just as one thought leads to another. I may begin to talk about something, and it triggers something that I wasn't even thinking about prior to it coming out of my mouth. Sometimes I surprise myself that way because, as I said, we're all walking unfamiliar pathway. We've never been this way before, but let me just explain what the Grand Cardinal Cross is. It's astrology, and I'm not an astrologer, but I find it fascinating ever since I walked into that lady's house back in, oh God, when would it have been? 1972 maybe? I'm guessing. I'm totally guessing. But a long time ago, I walked into this lady's house for the very first time, knocked on her door. I was a Jewel Tea man, and I heard the voice from inside saying, "Come in." I went in and I said, "I'm Ron. I'm your new Jewel Tea man." And I didn't see her. And she said, "What are you? A Libra or a Scorpio?" And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And she said, "Well, when were you born?" I said, "October 21st. And she said, "I knew it. You're on the cusp." She came out. That was in Wilmington, Delaware area, or probably actually Newcastle, Delaware. And began a fascinating conversation with me, telling me what I was like based on my astrology that she picked up sight unseen, only hearing my voice, never having met me, didn't know anything about me, but yet she knew all about me in the respect of my astrology told her certain things. And that was the opening of the door for me to be interested in a little bit about astrology. Not that I base my life on what the stars say. I know I have a friend who, if the stars tell her it's not a good day to travel, she won't travel. She'll stay in her house even if she had somewhere to go and something planned. If she sees that in her horoscope, that rules her life. Well, I don't place quite as much emphasis on that on the horoscopes as she does, and for me it would not be wise. I don't see it as wise anyway. Well, the cardinal signs, now let's say what it is. The cardinal grand cross is Uranus, Jupiter, Mars, and Pluto, all at right angles to each other from the signs Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. It's basically a lot of internal push and external pull working on you all at once. Yeah, that pretty well describes it. Pushing and pulling and an internal whatever. I can't really call it a battle, because the truth of the matter is there's an awful lot of excitement in this thing. For the first time in my life, I have at least two ladies that I'm attracted to, interested in me at the same time. Now that has never happened before. And both are new. I didn't know either of them 2 weeks ago. Not either of them. So it's brand new, it's exciting, and it's a bit scary. I don't know how to handle the energy. Now, the one lady said to me today, she made a statement that stuck with me, and it's still with me. She said, "Isn't it terrible that we believe that we're only allowed to love and be loved by one person?" Ooh, food for thought, indeed. Yes, I have always felt that an intimate relationship is unique and special, and it should only be with one person, at least one person at a time. One person at a time means that I have never cheated. And I've considered what my definition of cheating is: when you're in an intimate relationship with somebody, you don't mess around with somebody else sexually. Well, some people don't have that same point of view. And so, all things new, Spirit has provided in my life something that is brand new, unfamiliar, out of my comfort zone, and here it is. And both ladies I resonate with both ladies. One of them is in a relationship. One of them is not. Naturally, I gravitate more toward the one who is not, because that's my mindset. She's available, the other one isn't available. But the other one doesn't see herself as not being available. She is available. Her relationship is defined as an open relationship. And she defines herself as polyamorous. And her partner is also polyamorous. I've studied polyamory. I used to have people, when I published my magazine, I used to have people write articles and talk about polyamory, and I've probably talked about it myself, although I don't remember specifically writing any articles. I probably did, because it was a topic of conversation in the community that was publishing Paradox magazine, a purposely provocative publication. And I studied bonobo monkeys, and here's a tribe or a group of primates that live together, totally promiscuous and totally nonviolent. I mean, a total nonviolent culture. Everybody's touch needs are met. Everybody's sexual needs are met in a community. Well, that's a fascinating idea on the one hand and totally frightening on the other. So what do I do? What do I do? I don't know the answer. That's one of the things that's facing me right now. I'm not going to just dwell on that, though. It's interesting, and I've made some decisions, and yet I've also made the decision that truthfully I have to take it day by day and live in the moment, because that's the only way I can be in integrity. I can't create a box that gives me a new comfort zone. I have to be willing to live on the edge of my comfort zone at the very least. Maybe to retreat back into it, maybe to not retreat back into it, but to explore. And I think the whole human race, in a sense, is being given the opportunity to explore areas on the border of our comfort zone. And for some of us, stepping a little bit further outside of that comfort zone into areas that are totally new, and we know they're new, and we know we don't know the answers. We don't have what it's all about. Now, for the last few days, in addition to this romantic possibilities, and I'm still, they're still only possibilities because nothing has really happened yet. We're just in the getting to know each other stage. But in any case, another person has been trying to contact me in regard to Let me just see if I can find that email. Yeah, there it is. Open Dialogue Alpha Omega. I got this letter. I'm not going to give the name of the individual. It is a private email. This letter was dictated to me by my brother in humanity, whom I would like to introduce to you. Many attempts on this person's life have been made in the past, so there is a reason why I cannot mention his name or code. Only when you engage him is when you will be presented with this data. I understand your concerns. There are many things that are presented to us to believe, and they ultimately are not. The system is very tricky and at the same time very smart. Do not forget that the person running the world has a PhD in deception. A great many things have happened in the past 3 years, and we are truly heading for a new era. A great amount of deception and a great many decoys. Even the decoys serve a purpose of protecting the real people. The people I deal with are very much real. Their actions have been verified by supernatural powers in special events and signs and wonders. They do not scream and shout or contest who is real, for that would endanger their purpose. And don't forget that the M1 is a servant and not a king. There are levels above the position of M1 that are controlled by a supreme intelligence, which is referred to as Alpha Omega. The code has been fulfilled by these entities. Wait a minute, I skipped a line. Also bears a number and a code that was sent out to all the families and people underneath, such as governmental agencies and the United Nations. The code has been fulfilled by these entities and confirmed by signs and miracles on earth as well as in the sky. This is a plan that goes back thousands of years that have been fulfilled at this time. And as you stated that you have seen names floating around besides Mr. Sino Sugi, all these entities are servants and not owners and not king of kings, but merely servants submitted under the will of Almighty God. The M1 that you are familiar to has all these recognitions by the global agencies, but he is not the master and is merely a servant that should be used as a protector for mankind and the global assets. Again, he is not the owner and is merely one who is executing orders to serve the people under the direction of the Supreme Council, which is in turn submitted to the Supreme Intelligence and Creator. If you share our position and opinion, we can work together for a world without financial tyranny and oppression. You cannot change one dictator for another. It would be like choosing pests or cholera. None of these are very healthy for humans. People like to consider themselves the unique one, claiming I am, but instead our focus should be we are. These words are not coming from a person's name. They are coming from one entity that serves the council and humanity from levels above the M1. At one time, this individual served the M1, but today serves a higher purpose on the levels above that structure under the council. His position has even been supported by prophecies 2,000 years ago, and his code has been issued in the system. It would be like blank, a name, like I, a name, can facilitate your engaging him in discussion. The M1 in the system is not as you in the world thinks it to be. Actually, one is 3 with the same name and cannot act without one another's cooperation. So the people that believe in one supreme leader controlling and enslaving the world is blinded by the system that has been created by the evil ones. The system is divinely inspired and cannot be hijacked, and these individuals do not care about recognition and only care for humanity and safeguarding humanity. This is why you do not find these individuals on internet pages claiming I am. For their wish is only in fulfilling their mission, and that is to safeguarding humanity generation to generation. Do not worry or engage yourself in the worldly arguments of egos presented by these slaves or egotism stating how important they are and how they will rule the world. The main question we should be asking is how we can serve humanity and work together. Instead of exchanging one tyranny for another or arguing about which we should choose, we should be questioning how we should serve humanity. Our time in the world is extremely dangerous, with wars and rumors of wars and natural catastrophes and deadly viruses being spread around the world designed to kill humanity. Even these ignorant people who consider us to be slaves and themselves considering themselves as masters, should ask the question, after killing all the people, who will serve them as masters? It is time for a change, and that change has a number, and it is imminent, so let us work together. That's the end of the communication that was sent to me by email, and I actually spoke to this gentleman today who identified himself as the ambassador. I did not get a name. He is originally from Hong Kong. He's connected with the family, the Dragons. He's currently in Europe, and the individual that set this up is in the United States. I do not know either of them. I've only been introduced to them, but it was an interesting conversation, and I'm totally in resonance with the idea that it is about us and how we are going to serve each other and how we are going to learn to cooperate with each other. Because he that sits on the throne, the creator of all that is, says, "Behold, I make all things new." And all things are becoming new. All systems are being repurposed. All structures are being redefined. All roles are being empowered to serve, not to rule, not to lead, not to dominate. One of the reasons they contacted me is because they have been watching my videos, and they realize that, unlike many people in the world, I'm not trying to blow my own horn or toot my horn or blow my whistle. I'm merely wanting to serve everybody, and I stand for the highest good, and that was recognized. And I think that's why people are being drawn to me right now. Someone said that at this Grand Cross, because of me being a Libra and how it affects Libras, people are going to be looking to me for leadership. And the leadership that I will give is service. I will continue to serve. I will continue to speak the truth as it is revealed to me. I don't have all the answers. To me, Mr. Sino, Mr. Sugi is M1. I'm told that he's not alone, that there's connections with the Philippines and Indonesia. There's also connections in Europe. And it's a family. It is a dragon family. And it's coming together. It's being brought together to liberate mankind from the bondage of slavery to the domination system that we've known. Behold, I make all things new. He that sits on the throne is the creator of all that is. And he is in each one of us. And we are all being given the opportunity to walk in the newness of life, to follow in a way that we don't know along unfamiliar paths, to get outside of our comfort zone, and to explore and to co-create together that which makes everything new and will ultimately lead to the working out of all of our problems, the resolution of our issues. And we are coming home, folks. I'm told that it's happening this year. It's not being put off till some 2017 or 2034 or some other far in the distant future. It's happening this year. There will be things that will be substantive changes this year. We'll see. I get very leery of anybody giving dates, and I am sitting on the edge of my seat. I don't have a date. I wasn't given a date. I was just told it's going to happen this year. I'm happy about that, and I hope that it's true. Behold, I make all things new. Thank you for listening. Namaste.